Hey, everybody, welcome to That's Good Stuff. And it's that time again when we morph into That's Game Stuff and talk about the gaming that we have been doing. So, before we jump in, let's talk about what just happened, which was the PlayStation Showcase. So, anyone who saw it wants to tell us what you guys liked, what you didn't like, and what you thought was missing. So, go ahead. We'll start with Michael. So, since
Fair enough. You watch it now, Alex, correct?
What?
You watch it now, correct?
Dude, you meshed all those words into like
You watch Alex now, correct? Speak fast.
I thought
Yes.
Alex lagged for a second because he's just like,
He just went. Okay, so I don't know. Anyway,
yes, I watched it.
okay, I don't know because you're the only one that would probably care about spoilers. Yeah. So this was a state of play. So there's a big discussion going on right now, like what Sony's plan is versus because they keep bouncing between saying state of play and showcase, and they're like, what's the difference? And so for a state of play, my expectations were like negative below zero. They were very, very low. And I was like kind of expecting like third party games, mostly, maybe, I don't know, a little bit of stuff. But this one actually surprised me quite a lot. The main one for me that I was excited about was the Astrobot kind of 3 platforming game. It's just kind of expansion on the demo that we got, kind of a tech demo with the PS5 that came with it. But yeah, this was it just looks really creative and fun, and just it'd be nice to. The big thing I want from this is for it to be difficult. So the tech demo wasn't very difficult, but I'm hoping this one brings some brings the PlayStation audience into like a more 3D platform, because I feel like all the recent Mario has been so easy. I'm like, I love them, but I'm like, I want a little bit of challenge with it. I don't know. I'm trying to think what else was there. There was Silent Hill, which I'm still iffy about. I think it was a better trailer in my opinion, but it's still like I was talking to Carlos yesterday, I think, and he was like, because he's the Silent Hill, guru, man, and he's like, I'm excited for it. That was a better trailer, but I just my expectations are bottom for it. I'm like, that kind of sucks. But what other ones were that stand out? Monster Hunter for sure, Monster Hunter Wilds, which I wish they would expand upon what this game is. So when Monster Hunter World came out, that's the first one I ever played. I wanted the not like runs of monster hunting. I wanted an open world where you just kind of free hunt whatever monster you see. I didn't want like, here's your arena, there's the monster somewhere, go find it. I was like, that was really fun in world, but like I'm much more of a kind of dynamic's not the right word, kind of organic battle occurrences, what I kind of want, rather than scripted, if that makes sense. So I'm hoping that's kind of what it seems like, especially with you having the mount and everything. I can't remember if you have Mountain World or not. My brain's dumb, but hoping that's what it is for that one. Anything else I can't think of right now. I was excited for something else, but I'll let someone else go and jump back to it. Alex, you want to go?
Sure. Yeah, the whole thing about it being a PlayStation state of play or whatever is interesting, because I went in kind of like what you're talking about. I guess I probably went in with a little bit more expectation than you did, and I thought it was fine. Astrobot, I thought was a little bit. It's cool that it exists, but it's a little bit disappointing to me, because like that pack-in game was so cool that I'm like, I wish they would just make like go beyond that and make. And I know obviously they're adding to it, but it kind of just looked like Astrobot pack-in game 2 to me.
Really?
Yeah, it totally did. Like, although I loved how you're using the PS5 as a spaceship to shoot.
It was like it basically turned to like an Andros battle from Star Fox, and he's just on a PS5 going. Pew, pew.
I guess I was hoping for more of like if you took like a Ratchet and Clank world and quality, and then threw Astrobot in there and made it like a real game. Like Astrobot, that pack-in one was fun, but it's really just hey, this is a nostalgic PlayStation thing. But I wanted like more story, I guess. I don't really know what I wanted, but it does look cool. I'm excited. I'm not complaining about it. As far as everything else, the thing that stood out to me the most was Concord. But I know I'm an Overwatch fan. But this looks like Overwatch X Guardians of the Galaxy to me. But the gameplay looks more like Destiny to me, and I'm not a Destiny person, so Johnny can speak to that. But the gameplay definitely looks more like that to me. So I was like, this kind of looks dope. And then I look on Twitter and everyone's ragging on it, and I'm like, well, what do I know?
It does just look like it looks like an Overwatch clone with a little more I mean, I'm assuming they would get more characters, but it seems like you're kind of limited to those 5 or 6 characters, whatever they were. It doesn't seem like they're gonna have a massive roster. To me,
no. I thought that too, and then I rewinded the trailer because they showed like a character list, and I'm like, they keep showing these 5 characters. I'm like, is this like a Splatoon type thing where you have just your 5 different kind of modes, as far as I remember from Splatoon? But then they have a list of like probably like 15 to 18 characters.
Oh, wow. I totally missed that. That's strange because they did like the main introduction of everything.
They don't focus on it at all, and I don't know if it's because they don't want to reveal the characters, if they want to like parse them out as the game releases to build hype or something. But they showed like the same 5 characters, and then they show a full list of characters, and I was like, what the heck? But yeah, I'm confused by this game because it seems like Overwatch won the like hero shooter war, and it's not even doing great anymore. So it's like, why are there's like that Marvel Rivals hero shooter game coming out. I'm like, why are these Overwatch clones coming out now?
Yeah, it seems very late for all of this kind of style, but
yeah, I'm not complaining because I love Overwatch and this looks cool. So
it looks beautiful too.
Yeah, it does. It looks very cool. Those are the standouts for me, and I hope that they lean more into like the story cinematics with the characters, like Overwatch did a little bit, but I hope they do more with it. Other than that, yeah, I thought it was just mostly fine. It's probably just taste thing. Most of it's not really for me. So
I did remember the other one that I was looking forward to was the Ballad of Antara, is what it is. It's that kind of, it was like Dark Souls-y kind of looking. I'm looking at the trailer right now, just trying to get a refresher on it, but I don't know. It just looked kind of like a fantasy kind of Dark Souls kind of thing. Not like fantasy as in like, more like kind of, I guess high fantasy would be the way to describe that. I don't know. I don't know if you remember that one. It looked great, but
yeah,
no,
I remember the name.
There's a game on Game Pass. I think it came out this year that looks straight up just a ripoff of Dark Souls 1.
Oh,
like the main character has the same helmet and everything, and I was like, "What? How are they getting away with this?" But
there's so many that try that. But I'll watch the game. I'll let someone else go, and then I'll bring it back up. Johnny,
did you have opinions?
So I've only seen 3, and 2 of them I just watched while y'all were talking. Astrobot, going with what Alex said, you wanted more in depth into what what is it called? The play-in?
Astrobot?
Yeah.
Packin'?
Yeah, I don't know. What was that game called? It was Astrobots. Was it Playroom?
Playroom.
Yeah, that's right. Playroom.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was like a technical term to.
Yeah.
No.
He was dropping the jargon on us.
It's like, what is, no, but no, like I see what you meant. Like when I played that Astrobot's Playroom, I loved it. I completed it and platinumed it, everything to the point of getting every single gacha like character that you get from the little gacha machine. So it was really cool to see that they're actually making a full length game of that. Especially with like you said, maybe this will actually add a story and like fun dynamics to it. So I know one of the best things on it was playing against the T-Rex at the end. So maybe they'll have like more exciting boss battles to contribute to it. So as long as gameplay and I guess the overall vibe of it feels good, then I'm pretty excited about that one. I did check out Concord just now. It does look intensely like Destiny, like gunplay wise.
Yeah.
A lot of it, I was like, oh, she's using the Warlock jump.
I think they helped with that as well because I mean they own Bungie now, so I'm pretty sure they helped with the multiplayer.
Oh, okay, that's cool. And so like when I did play Destiny, like most of my time went into PvP and Crucible and stuff. So that adding like that hero aspect to these kind of games into it like a Destiny style game, because I know if I was still like caught up with Destiny, I'm still a big fan of Destiny. I'm just not caught up with it. I would want more and be like, hey, a hero aspect of Destiny would be an actually good idea and fun for that take of community. But I do see where you're kind of late to the game on this, man. It's like a lot of people are shifting over to battle royales and stuff, that we're like in this weird slump of just tons of battle royale. So maybe people are going to be like, you know what, I need something nostalgic to go back to, which it's not too much of nostalgia, but
or maybe they're just like, Overwatch is failing. Let's do this right. Hopefully, because
True. Yeah.
that is
they
true.
they have not been bringing people in that for sure.
Especially like that Marvel game too. That Marvel game looks actually interesting. It's the same hero aspect, but it's like, hey, that's different and that's interesting. Looks fun. And I could see that with this Concord as well, because like when I first saw it, I saw like maybe a 5-second trailer on Instagram, and I was like, wow, another hero game. And this is didn't appeal to me. But when I actually watched the gameplay, I was like, this looks fun. This actually looks like Destiny meets Overwatch. So
yeah, that's why it pulled me in, because like the Marvels one, I'm gonna give a shot because it's Marvel. I'm like, I know those characters. I guess it's that recognition, and it but the gameplay doesn't look to me super fun. It looks just from first glance, it looks like budget Overwatch to me. But I don't give a crap about any of these characters in this Concord game, but it's pulling me in because the gameplay looks really fun. So
that's the thing too. Like, I mean, with Overwatch, when they first came out with their hero shooter, in the very beginning, we had that 5-minute like introduction video that looked like everyone was like, is this like Pixar? With that little kid and Tracer and Reaper fighting each other and Widowmaker and stuff like that. And that's what appealed to me first when playing Overwatch, as like not my first hero game, because Team Fortress 2 and stuff that was out previously, but a nice looking hero game that I was like, I'm interested in the characters. Whereas this, I saw the characters in that 5-minute trailer and I was like, this is dumb. But when I actually watched the gameplay, I was like, this looks fun, So like I it's really appealing to have gameplay grab my attention than characters at this point in time, because that seems like a good start on their end.
And I'd also say, like, it also depends heavily on what the objectives are going to be with this.
Yeah,
because like Overwatch's 3 modes, I feel like you play over and over again. I'm like, they need to bring fresh ideas and new things. Like one of them, I watched Kind of Funny react to the stream, and they kind of pointed out that one of them looked like Skull Game from Halo. Is that what it's called? Where you like have to keep the skull.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so one of them looked at that, and I love that kind of game mode where it's like keep away and everyone's trying to protect the one teammate that's running for his life. I love that kind of game mode. Oddball, there you go. That's the right one. That's right. So I'm hoping they, because you're just holding the skull. I'm hoping they definitely implement way more modes into it compared to Overwatch, which I feel like I'm like, all right, we've done this. Take the bus to the school 50,000 times or whatever it is, a truck or whatever. But yeah,
Overwatch 2, this is how they improved the modes. Is they added basically take the bus to the school, but instead it's a big robot and you both can push it back and forth.
It's tug of war.
Tug of war. Like that. That's literally basically the extent. And then a lot of the maps, they changed them from day to night or vice versa.
My God.
So
hey there.
That's the kind of change we need.
Concord has some big shoes to fill.
That's kind of where I was getting at with like Astrobot when you were saying, in a way, it kind of feels like if it's not broken, don't fix it. But that could, when it comes to Overwatch 2, that's not a good concept. If it's not broken, don't fix it. Yeah. But it's like completely, come on, let's add a little bit more to it.
Going off of back to Astrobot, like you said, one thing that they brought up during the Kind of Funny stream was, I think it was Blessing or someone brought up the fact that how cool it would be if, like how Mario has his worlds, if you go, and it kind of seemed like they were hinting to us, that you go to a God of War world, you go to a Ratchet and Clank world, you go to a Horizon world, because he picks up the axe. I'm like, that would be amazing. That would be so freaking cool. It'd be kind of creepy to go to Last of Us world, but it'd be very, very cool to have that like robot go in these different areas and everything like that. I was like, and you didn't see a lot of that with the world it did, but there's definitely stuff that could be hiding. That'd be so cool though.
And then if we get PlayStation All-Stars 2, Astrobot could be the next Kirby.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. He just adopts everyone's powers.
Yeah.
If this game gets delayed, we know that they went back and added that feature.
True. Yeah. Everyone's like, oh, that's such a good idea. Why didn't we do that?
All right. So the only thing I saw from the showcase is the memes about Silent Hill going around about the
Oh god, yeah.
character's face. But that's anyone else got any thoughts on the showcase? Nope.
I guess. Oh, go on, Thomas.
So I did see the Silent Hill one and the character models. That not a fan of those. They do not look very good. I think I should do that one. I think I should do that one that said looked like David Duchovny, but
I saw the one where it's like, when did it come out? Like 2017 or something like that. It's like, can you guess which one's from 2024?
Oh, no.
It's like, no.
not super impressed with that. But yeah, I have no idea. But weirdly enough, I'm kind of excited about the Destiny Warriors one or Dynasty Warriors.
Oh,
I haven't played that.
It looked cool.
Since I think I played like the Gundam one back on the PS3. But I like those games. They're a lot of fun. But I mean, nothing like specifically like stood out except for what was that one that was like Wire Fu, something about the wind.
Oh, is that like kind of the boss rush mode look like Sekiro?
Where the wind meets.
Oh yeah, the winds meet, or where the winds meet.
Where winds meet. Yeah,
Where winds meet.
It's kind of interesting. I like Wire Fu like movies and stuff like that, but it looked like because they were in the palm or the bamboo forest and fighting and stuff like that. So, but I don't know. I wasn't super tuned into the state of play, and I kind of did I looked at one of those summaries, and nothing really stood out, honestly. So that VR Alien doesn't look very good. So
I mean, they didn't show. It was like one thing that everyone was like,
it was like one thing, and one alien just goes like.
I did look at that Ballad of Antara again, and it looks like, I remember what stood out to me is it looked like Dark Souls, but with more of like a POV of God of War. So it was like way more behind him rather than above. Mm-hmm. I was like, that, and it's just kind of how God of War is, but it's like less like punishing as Dark Souls. So we'll see what that game looked at. Definitely interesting me, but
but nothing really stood out to me really. So it wasn't
all right. Impressed. So why don't we get into the meat of the episode? So earlier this week, or not this week, it's been a while, but earlier a gauntlet was thrown when you notice that there's 2 extra guys here more than usual. Usually it's just 4 of us, but there's 2 extra guys here. And that's because a challenge was thrown out by Alex, who really wanted someone to play a game. And Johnny picked up that gauntlet. And so he took on the challenge of the game. So Alex, why don't you tell us what the challenge you threw at Johnny was?
So I just saw that it was on sale, and I put it in our chat. I was like, for the love of God, play this game, guys. Like, I think the only people out of like all of our friends that have played it was like, obviously Thomas, Michael, me, and Ben. And so I guess that's like half my friends, so whatever. but yeah, then Johnny surprised me with a little what's the word? I'm totally drawing a blank.
It's like a counter
rebuttal.
Yeah.
No, I guess it was. Yeah, it was more like a deal.
They're both the same, Jared. Never
Johnny, you pitch what you proposed to me.
And basically, Alex was like, "Please, for the love of God, you guys play this game." And I was like, "Okay, I played it before, but I never really went very far into it." And I was like, if I play this, could I suggest a game that you play at the same time? So Alex accepted the offer and the proposal, I guess.
The deal was done.
The deal was signed in blood.
The deal was struck.
Actually, this is all in chat, and Alex doesn't really check chat as often. So I was like waiting like a couple days, just sitting there, like, is he gonna accept it?
Oh, I never knew you put it in chat. Yeah. I only knew that you did it in person.
Yeah, so when I finally met him in person, I was like, Alex, I need to talk to you.
For the love of God, check your phone.
I said, would you play this if I play this? And he was just like, yeah, sure. I was like, okay.
You're just worrying about it all night. And Alex is like, yeah, of course.
Well, it did give me time to like think of a game for him to play. And in that time, we suggested he wanted me to play Infamous Second Son 2, as I offered Pokemon Crystal to him. And I know a lot of people are like, why Pokemon Crystal? Like, why out of any game in the entire world to get Alex to play a game, why this one? One, because Alex has never played a Pokemon game before in his entire life. So why not start on the first game? Or what people are probably going to ask. That's fine. You can start on the first game, but Crystal has the first game and second game put together in it, because the late Iwata, may he rest in peace, was able to code the original game into Pokemon Silver and Gold, and later on Crystal. So Pokemon Crystal has that, and it also has animations and experience. I think this is the first one where you can see your experience go up for your Pokemon. So that kind of gives you that feel of like, oh, I'm actually improving as I'm going along. I'm not just fighting Pokemon and then, oh, I got an extra level. You can actually see your progression in that. So that's why I offered Crystal to your infamous recommendation.
He basically cheated. He basically was like, yeah, I'm going to get you to play 2 games. But I don't care. I don't care because he played it from his second son, which made me happier than anyone could imagine.
How was it, Johnny?
Okay, so going in, I did start this game when PlayStation 4 initially came out. I think I started the first maybe 20 minutes. I think I got to Seattle. That was it. I started at the beginning. It got to Seattle, and I was like, okay, this is all right. Once that happened, I basically stopped it there. I think other games came in, and I started playing those. And then once the end of the PS4 started, I guess PS5 was about to release, I restarted it again. Got to maybe 2 hours, 3 hours in. Really enjoyed it at this time. So when the PlayStation 5 came out, something happened with my save file to transfer over from PlayStation 4 to PlayStation 5, and it made me start over. So I don't know. I know a lot of people are with me on this. Once you get a few hours into a game, you don't want to replay those few hours again, especially if it's immediate like that. Why didn't I just plug in my PS4? I don't know, but it was already put up. And so I let it go for a while. So Alex actually suggesting this actually got me to continue on with that. That being said, I beat it the first time. Went full Paragon mode. I think it's called, I forgot what the good karma is called on this game.
I think it is Paragon.
Oh, it's called Hero.
Yeah. I feel like
Hero.
Sure.
Yeah, you're Hero or you're Infamous. So
I'm thinking of Mass Effect. This is embarrassing. This is embarrassing, guys. I don't even
love
know
this game. Yeah, right.
Your favorite game of all time.
Yeah,
and I only know that because
blue.
I just finished it, so went full. I don't know. Here's a question in the middle of this segment that I'm gonna ask y'all. Do y'all read trophies or achievements before you get into a game?
Very much depends on the game.
not before.
Yeah,
No?
not before.
I
During.
don't even really know
During.
I get them.
Wait, do you mean read them before you get them to see how to get them?
No, because on PlayStation it has a good feature where it has hidden ones. You don't have to see the ones.
Secret.
And
Yeah.
the hidden ones are the ones that are story based. So it's okay. I scroll past those and I'll look at the other ones. And luckily enough, it was get full hero mode and get full, infamous mode. So I was okay. So I started the game and I was I'm going to go full hero just to get the trophy for that. And I was I see these achievements or these trophies and I'm I'm going to have to play this game twice. So that's basically how I set out to play it. So I which was really cool because when I was playing the hero mode, you could see the infamous mode, I guess, what are they called, Alex? When you can choose
the skill tree?
Yeah, the infamous options and the skill tree too for different things you can get.
Yeah.
That will sway the story to be in a different aspect of how you're going to be playing. So the hero was really cool. I loved playing this. You were being able to traverse all of Seattle. You're basically a punk that gets to spray paint wherever you want, and not get in trouble because you've got superpowers. This game was really, really awesome. I mean, it had like I think one of the most like best part of it was the traversal and every like single power that you could get from it. I thought I was going to be using, would text Alex and be like, I love this power. I'm going to fully upgrade the entire thing until and use that only. But once you get another power, then you want to fully upgrade that, and you get another one, you want to fully upgrade that, to the point where you're like, I was like, basically this insane, and pardon the slur, bioterrorist.
Very good, very good.
Just using like rock and smoke and neon and video like in one go, that like my achievements were just like popping up left and right from like things I didn't even have to look at later on down the line. So that was actually really cool. And voice acting was awesome. I did have problems with story every once in a while, which I would, throughout the entire like gameplay or my gaming run, I would text Alex like, hey, I'm not really feeling this dynamic in this relationship, or I really don't like this guy. Or I talk to him in person and be like, I really like this guy. I hope nothing bad happens to him. Something bad happens to him. So, and that's pretty much what happened like throughout that. I guess I'll stop there and let you go on with your side of the story, Alex, and then I'll get to my Infamous run.
Oh, yeah. Well, as far as like, are you talking about Infamous or talking about Pokemon?
He wants you to talk about Pokemon, and then I'll go back to do Infamous.
Okay,
right?
sure,
yeah.
So, sorry, I was just jumping at the chance to talk about Infamous. But okay, so Johnny originally let me borrow this little guy, this little emulator, and it's been great. However, today he informed me that he's giving it to me.
Oh, hey.
Because he's an angel and a wonderful person, and it has a ton of games on it. So I'm like, I'm very excited, and he is way too kind of a person.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Thank you. But what's nice about it is that I'm kind of glad that you chose this version just because it is in color. Not that I'm opposed to playing games not in color, but it does bring some life.
Spoiled.
Yeah.
Huh?
I said spoiled.
Spoiled. Oh, I was thinking spoilers. Yes,
no, spoiled.
I am spoiled. So as far as like the whole idea of Pokemon, because I've never played any of them, I've like, the only thing I know about Pokemon is in Smash, or based off like that very first Pokemon movie. I think it's the very first one with Mewtwo in it that came to theaters, and it was a big deal. I don't think I've seen anything else except for like maybe a couple episodes of the show. So I really don't know much about it, but I kind of know culturally, colloquially, osmosially, it's not a word, but kind of the gist of Pokemon. So going in, so the only game I've played that has like, I was telling Johnny about it has like random encounters is that dreaded, horrible, terrible game, Undertale, that everyone seems to love. And I may be misremembering. I think I have a bias against the game. I should probably play it again at some point. But like I remember there's an area where it's literally just random encounters. And it is so annoying. And I get that I can run, but Mama didn't raise no wuss. I'm not gonna run. So in this game, what I like about it is it's not just random. It's like I think I've heard people say that like in the grass, that's where random encounters are. But I guess I never really thought about that. And then when you actually play it, I'm like, oh, this is actually kind of cool. Because then it's like, it makes it like a little bit exciting. You're like, oh, here's a patch of grass. Like, my guys are almost dead.
Touch grass, Alex.
And in the early game, you're like, my guys are almost dead. And then but it is kind of fun where it's like, oh, I got through. But yeah, so I started with a water type. His name is Totodile, but I named him Totes. And,
that's who I always choose.
Nice. That's awesome. So far, I don't know if there are like if this is the first game, I don't know if like Pikachu's in this one, or like Squirtle, or my boy Blastoise, who's always been my favorite Pokemon for almost no reason, but I like him. And I really hope that he's in this game because that'd be awesome. But so far, I really like it. It's very fun. It's very charming. I like you have your little cell phone. You can call Professor Elm, or you can call your mom, and she tells you how much money you have because she keeps taking it.
God.
And it's fine. I told her she could. She's saving it for me. If she's skimming off the top, I don't know because I'm not keeping track of how much I make.
Check the garage when you go home.
Lamborghini back there.
She's like, go out there, kid. Go fight your Pokemons for me.
Mama needs a new Cadillac.
She quit her job and everything. But yeah, it's very charming. So far I'm not super deep into it. I've beaten. Oh, did I beat 2 gyms?
Yeah, you beat 2.
Yes, I did. I beat 2.
2 guys named Jim.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, 2 guys named Jim. That is funny in this game. How that it's like, they have those weird. Obviously the art is going to be the same for each guy, but it's like.
Oh, they have different names.
Yeah. What is it? It's like, this is a bad example, but it's like Firefighter John.
Yeah,
Bird like Firefighter
Neil or something.
Yeah. I was like, this. I don't know. This game is very charming, very, very charming. What else? Let's see. So one thing about it is that it is very easy, especially once you get a little bit into it. And I'm obviously playing a game that most of you guys played when you were kids, so it's a little bit different. But like my main guy Totes, he's just like so overpowered because like I just at first I didn't realize that you could reorder them so that whenever you start a match, then it can start with someone different. Because I was like, do I really want to like take a turn to swap when I could just use him and destroy them? I'm like, I probably should upgrade these guys, but I'm like, whatever. I'm just gonna get this over with. But once I figured that, I was like, oh, okay, that helps because then it's not laziness getting in my way. I can start to upgrade them because I think that it's Totes. He's like level 19 maybe, and then I think my second most one is Geodude, and he's like 7 or 8. I like him. He's cool. I'm starting to yes, Jared.
Do you name all your Pokemon or just certain ones?
Oh, okay. No, I only name my first one. And then I accidentally named someone else.
Accidentally.
Or like I clicked in to name this person, and then I couldn't figure out how to get out of it, like cancel it. So I was like, whatever.
You just enter without pressing the letter.
Oh, okay.
It'll go back to normal.
Gotcha. It was Sandru.
No, Sentry. Sentret.
No. It was Sand.
Shrew?
Santanamus.
Shrew. Yes. Thank you,
Sandshrew.
Sandshrew.
There we go.
And I named it Sandy. So,
I love Sandshrew.
Yeah. So those are the only ones I've named. The reason why is because I didn't want to go like, I know who Geodude is. I played Pokemon Monopoly, guys. Okay, but but I didn't want to name him like Rocky, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I've got Rocky, and people are like, who the hell's that? So I wanted to keep the names so I could tell people because it's pretty easy to remember, like 1 or 2 one that I named and one that I accidentally named, even though I couldn't remember Sandshrews name. But anyway,
that's a good strategy because in Scarlet, because I name all my Pokemon, it's always like references and stuff like that. Yeah, I did that in Scarlet. I didn't know that the new guy's names like the actual Pokemon name, so I was like, I had to go back and relearn them.
Yeah. So maybe it's like a good playthrough thing to do for the second playthrough or something to name them all for me, especially me because I don't know any or a lot of these. I do know some, like I know, Onyx and I guess I only know the rock people, and the water people, but I think that there's a lot more than I thought there were. It's like I'm stupid because I know that there are many kinds of types, but I think because I know that there's a 3-starter Pokemon that I always tend to think that there's only 3 types. I always think that there's grass, fire, and water. Then I'm like, I know that Pikachu exists. And so I don't know what I was thinking, but I think I just never really put a lot of thought into Pokemon until I started playing this. But yeah, that's all of my top level thoughts so far. So
there's like 300 in that and Crystal, right, Jared?
Yeah,
300 Pokemon.
Doubles it. Yeah.
It's like one. So each region, or they call them generations. So the first Pokemon game, Red and Blue, they always come out with two different ones. So that, well, it's a Game Freak and Nintendo thing where they can get you to either buy two different games or, in their terms, have friends to play the opposite game to get different Pokemon. But it seems like a cash grab to me. And it's always been. I've always been a child.
Yeah.
When I was a child, I was like, I'm not gonna buy two Pokemon games to get them all, you know. And
I like the blue one.
so they would always do Red and Blue, and then it came out with Gold and Silver. So the Red and Blue was Generation 1, Gold and Silver Generation 2, and then you got Crystal, which has Gold and Silver put together, I think, right, Jared?
Yeah, that's usually the third iteration. So
yeah, so you have
Red and Blue had yellow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
that's true. Yeah, and it came with all of them, all the Pokemon.
Huh.
So the one you're playing has all of Red and Blue and Gold and Silver packed into one. So each generation usually has like 150 Pokemon. So this one should have like 300 or something.
Nice.
I have another question.
Yeah, you are going to have Squirtle and everybody in your games eventually.
Yes.
Oh, but go on, Jared.
Did you name your main character My Dude? That way, when people are like, "My dude won this gym," or
Oh man, I wish I was boring.
I always do that in RPGs.
My rival, my dude.
That's funny.
All right. Shall we go back to Infamous Land?
Yeah, go ahead. Alex, you can ask me anything you want on it.
So I love that your thoughts. You're absolutely right. Like, the story in these games is not why you play these games at all. Like, I will say straight up, the story's not very good at all. But either way, I think that the hero version is way better than the Infamous one. And I think one of the reasons why I forgot that it's not called Paragon is that I think Paragon is one of the levels to hero, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure that that's the case. But anyway, a story, whatever. Even character like Delson, he doesn't change a ton. Like, he doesn't, like, whatever. That's not why you play this game. It's a playground. And the brilliance of this game is like that there's all these powers that you pull from the world. So not only can you choose what you want based on your mood or whatever, however you want to traverse, because I love traversal in games. That's like one of my favorite things in the world. And this game traversal is really sublime. It's so good. But what's really cool is that if you get hurt, how you heal yourself is, it's a typical Call of Duty thing where you just stay out of danger for a little while, or you can pull from a power in your environment. So, like, yeah, if you have smoke and then you get hurt, but there's no more smoke around, you can just go, if you have the powers, obviously, you have to gain them first, but you can just go up to any neon sign in any window. Like, I feel like neon's the most generous throughout the city. It's just everywhere. And video is kind of that way too. But yeah, you just pull that power. It's just so much fun. It's like, I don't know. I love that idea that you pull, you don't just, have a stim pack or something. You pull energy from your environment. So, but yeah, what did you think of one thing is, what did you think of Augustine, the villain? And I guess let's go with the main characters. So I think the main characters are like Delson, Reggie, and Augustine. That's kind of like the main ones that they focus on. And Fetch. And Fetch. And then what did you think of the Renegade ending?
Ooh, I did not like that Renegade ending.
No, it's terrible.
Pretty much
so
at
bad.
all.
It's so bad.
There was some things that I was like, okay, this is pretty fun. I mean, like, well, first off, like, going through the Renegade mission. So, like, you do things with, like, Fetch when you're on hero mode, or I'm just gonna say Paragon Renegade because I'm used to it. When you're on Paragon, you do things with Fetch to help her become a better person because she's killing drug dealers. But when you're a Renegade, it's kind of like, it's not a build up to get to, like, being truly evil. Like eventually you see it in your clothes, your jacket. When you become fully good, you have a white hoodie on out of nowhere. I was like, did I put that on? It's like, I don't think I did, but I'm running around with a white hoodie because I'm like an angel. And then when I'm a baddie, I'm in a red hoodie. And I'm like, all right,
it's all hot topic stuff.
Yeah. And then you start getting like these like Anakin Sith eyes going on. Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Johnny has broken his
Sucker Punch. Sucker Punch Productions is not happy with what Johnny said.
You insult our video game? See what we can do to you.
They're shutting him down.
We'll show you a renegade.
No.
Well, I guess while he's getting that fixed, there was another thing I was thinking about that's cool about the gameplay between the two of them. It's a really good idea where you have separate skill trees, or they at least branch off partially, depending on if you do Renegade or Paragon. And so you technically, it's a cool way to encourage you to do a second playthrough where you can see what other different types of powers that you can get. And then, although I don't think that they're that different, that makes the game like essential to play a second time, but they're pretty neat. But I will say that the Renegade colors for the powers, because they try to make it bad, they all either look like kind of red or violet. And it's very boring compared to Paragon. Like Paragon is like pinks and blues and reds, and it looks really good. Anyway, go on.
But yeah, like what I was saying was, there's no like subtle shift. It was, oh my god,
just keep going.
They're after you, Johnny.
I don't know.
Every time you insult it, they're going to shut it off.
But yeah, like basically.
Say something good.
I love the game.
For the audio listeners, his video keeps cutting out, and it's funny.
Every time I try to say something negative about this game,
it's really just me. I have a switcher.
Oh.
Face
it looks like you needed to put more into your video powers and Infamous, Johnny.
Terrible joke. Oh, I see what happened. I see what's going on. Discord's getting in the way of things. Let me close that out.
Sorry, Craig.
Good old Craig.
There we go. Okay. But yeah, so like there's no the third time's a charm. There's no subtle shift. You help out Fetch at the beginning, and you're like, okay, she's a killer. She's going after these drug dealers. I'm gonna change that. Let's do something good. Let's go after the drug dealers, but not kill them. When you're in your renegade mode, you're like, yeah, that's cool, but let's go kill those peaceful protesters down there. And she's like, that seems a little rough. And you're like, nah, I hate them. Let's kill them. And I'm like, Jesus, really? Wow. But I guess just to flip that and reverse it, going back to characters, Renegade Delsin is awesome. I love Troy Baker. And I love the fact that like you get like these, I guess like Inuit like tribe main actors from this story, like to be like the main character. I liked all of the I forgot what the tribe's called, but like the Native American like culture and colors, and like you see the totems and everything throughout Seattle because of these this tribe and everything that they're a part of, which is really cool. And like I didn't like Reggie in the beginning, and I think that's what like the direction of it was supposed to take you to. Eventually I started to like him. I was like, okay, he's kind of this older brother who's kind of dorky and corny. He just wants to hold up and protect and serve because he's a cop,
What the hell, Johnny?
Well, I mean, he's like, he's there to protect and serve, but not just as a cop, but as an older brother, which is very endearing, especially once you get more and more into it and see that he's actually trying to help Delsin and everybody around him. So that was really cool. The character development between Delson and his brother throughout that, because it was fun doing these missions with Reggie. The missions with Fetch were pretty cool. Going back to what I said, the Renegade mode or the Paragon mode, you're with Fetch, you're teaching her things are pretty cool and stuff like that. And she's like, oh yeah, let's go on a date. Renegade mode, you kill peaceful protesters, and she's like, let's bang, like right now. And I'm like, what the heck?
Why Renegade's better, guys. Nice guys finish last.
Yeah, to me, that always got weird when it was like Laura Bailey and also what's his name? Troy Baker. And then you have Travis Willingham like playing the other character in the other room.
True.
You're like, that's a little weird. So
in-game time.
Oh, that was Travis Willingham?
Yep.
Yeah, they plays Reggie.
Reg? No, that makes sense. Yeah, now that I see it. That's cool. But yeah, and then like going back to what you said about what I always felt about Augustine, she was a very strange antagonist. And not by strange as in like we talk about these like antagonists that like will keep egging you on to make you hate them more and more. She started from the beginning that I just hated her. And it was like, and it wasn't like, oh, she's the bad guy, this is cool. It was like she was like my general manager. I'm like, I feel like I'm like disobeying a policy. Yes. And that's why you're coming after me. Like I'm like, this does not feel like, I feel like I should be doing this stuff just out of spite to you, but I'm actually trying to save my tribe. So it felt good having that kind of like authoritarianism to this punk like mentality that Troy Baker gives you as Delson, and then how she gives you as Augustine. So
yeah. I think she's so awesome. There's a character in Handmaid's Tale that reminds me so much of her, but she's super cool. And I feel like if memory serves, in First Light, the game, the like shorter style game that came after this, it kind of like even develops her character even more. You kind of even see where she's coming from even more. And same with Fetch. I think Fetch becomes a much better character than Delson in First Light.
Is First Light a prequel to this?
Yes. I think some of it might take place after.
And that's what I was going to meaning to bring up to you. It's not going to be cheating to have you playing Crystal because it's 2 games. Once you get done with the first part, which you'll know when you get done with the first part, the second part, I'm going to do First Light.
Nice.
So.
I was only kidding about that, but
oh no, I know, but it was always in my plan anyways.
Nice. That's a fun platinum. It's harder in my opinion, but
yeah, I think that's what you said, Michael, right? That First Light's platinum
takes more effort. It's more of like they have challenges and stuff rather than just go find a bunch of stuff and level up.
I imagine it takes about the same amount of time because the game's shorter, but yeah, it's like a challenge room that's like, but it's super fun. But
apparently Laura Bailey had a big hand in the writing for that one too.
Nice. Oh, well, that makes sense. Yeah.
That's like one of her favorite characters that she's ever done.
Nice. That's cool. What is Laura Bailey in again? I know her name and I know her from D&D, but
she's Lust in Full Metal.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Exactly.
Well, what about video game wise?
She was in Call of Duty, that Vanguard one. She played the Russian chick.
I saw that, but you didn't really hear from her.
It's like
frag grenade.
That'd be an obvious one or missing.
She does a lot more anime.
Isn't she in Persona?
Yeah.
She's in Persona. She played Young Trunks, if I'm not mistaken, too. So
Young Trunks.
Didn't she play Rise in 4? Or
was she Rise?
Yeah, she's Rise.
Kujikawa?
Yeah.
Oh. Bay. That's Big Bay.
Troy Baker's in 4 as well.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, I'm here to buy some tofu.
She's Chun-Li in Street Fighter.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, we've been watching Dragon Ball, the original series, and she's in that. I'm like, how long has she been voice acting? Since she was like 12?
Yeah.
Because she plays young Chi-Chi. It's crazy.
Yeah, she did Abby in Last of Us too.
Have you ever heard of the story how her and Travis Willingham got together?
I don't think so.
It's so
Have you ever heard about the story of Darth Plagueis?
So apparently William was a huge like Dragon Ball Z fan, and he like met her at a con, and he's like, "Oh, I love Dragon Ball Z," and she's like looking at him like, "Oh God, it's a Dragon Ball Z fan." He's like, "No, I'd really want to get to work. I want to work." She's like, "Oh, you're an actor, okay."
Nice.
So she got him hired at Funimation. And then he's just like, "Hey, cool. Hey, you want to go out?"
No, marry me.
Nice.
Oh, I thought you were gonna go like she was like, "Oh God, this guy's Dragon Ball Z," and then she's like, "Oh, I'm an actor. Oh, I love you."
No, that's kind of how it happened, because she's like, "Yeah, like you meet a lot of fans, and they're like, but it's really funny."
Okay, so since there is 6 of us this time, that's a lot. So we got a lot of games. I'm guessing you guys play.
Yes.
So we're gonna
No,
have to give.
I don't.
No.
No, I don't either.
Oh, okay.
Joseph, we're in our 30s. We don't have a lot of time.
It's like I don't
Okay.
really at all.
So I was just gonna give us like 4 minutes each to talk about the games, but since we don't, Michael, I know you're playing Hellblade 2, so why don't you go into that?
Yeah, so I am actually just looked up a second ago. I am halfway through Hellblade 2. Only because I mean the first, it's the same as the first one. They're both very short games. Like I think the first one was like 6-7 hours, something like that. This one's around the same length. The only reason I haven't finished it is because I started on an older monitor and I got really upset because my monitor is poo-poo and very old. And so I did like research for like a week until I bought a new monitor. So I was playing a lot last night trying to get far, but didn't really get that far. But yeah, this game is going from the first one, kind of not knowing what to expect, but just kind of around the hype of it. I was like, okay, sure, I'll try it. It was a $20 game at the time. And then you kind of get the experience of what they're trying to do with that game, where it's very much like, no HUD whatsoever. Like even in the second one, there isn't a single button prompt, no HUD, no help bar, no nothing at all. It's all audio based, which is I forget what an immersive experience this kind of a unique thing. This type of game is. But going into the second one again, I was like, you just kind of forget because it pops in. I mean, the game is just utterly stunning. It's so pretty. The vistas and everything, the graphics, the face, like the motion capture is like, there was a point I was like, she could have just be standing there in a real camera to me right there. I was like, I wouldn't be able to tell you the difference. Gameplay, not as, obviously as in-depth visually, but just stepping into where it hits that point where, because it's, the voices in her head are basically what are guiding you. But it's like, they're also arguing, like, struggling with each other the whole time of like her fear. One of them's like, her fear and everything like that. The other one's trying to move around and push forward. So it's like, we should go that way. We shouldn't go that way. We can't go. Like, they're just like, it's always indecision and just a tension that it builds so much. And like in combat, where they're like left, you need to block this. You need to block this. You can't block that. You need to dodge. Like that's how this game just kind of guides you through things. And it's such a refreshing just experience to be able to go through this again. And then what I expected from this, after them being bought by Xbox, I expected it to be a little bit bigger, honestly. But I'm not disappointed that it is the size it is, because I expected that it was going to be like to kind of take more of a, typical game style route where you'll have like an open world and blah, 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 do your quests and everything like that. But it definitely follows the same line as the first one. It's very linear. You're just going down paths. I mean, there are branching paths, obviously, you can go through, but it's, and there's a little bit of collectibles. But it's very much like a linear story-driven game. But one thing I do enjoy so far is they took out a lot of the puzzling from the first one, because it just wasn't very impressive. It's like, hey, you have these symbols, go collect the symbols. There's still that, but it's very, very simple and very unintrusive, which I appreciate, because I'm very much like, I just want this for the experience of the story and move forward like that. And so what's new to this game really for me is, well, one, this one is about dealing with her trauma with her father. So it starts off and kind of gives you a recap. The other one was she's taking the head of her boyfriend or whatever to this mountain or whatever. And it's like, yeah, so it's like her struggling with the trauma of losing someone, blah, 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 blah. This one introduces her father, and it's like, hey, he basically told, like, the voices in their head are giving you the narration beforehand. They're like, hey, he told your mother you're worthless and you're nothing and to get rid of you. Like, and so you just kind of see her father. He's just constantly like breaking you down. And this is very like, this is definitely one of the scarier games that I experience, because like just visually, especially, like there were points where I'm like, dear Lord, like I'm sitting in this in my chair. I'm like, that is frightening. And it's also things of you can't do anything about it because it's all, psychological and stuff like that, but it's just visualized or displayed to you visually. And but
because like they've captured actual demons, I'm freaking out.
It's like there was a point yesterday. So I'm going through this land where they keep talking about giants, and I finally saw a giant, and I was like it was on the level of seeing like Attack on Attack on Titan giants for the first time. Like you're seeing these things that are just like that creepy look on their face. I mean, this one wasn't smiling or anything like that, but it just has these like eyes. You're like, holy crap, big little connections you get there. But anyway, one thing I am enjoying this new about this version. So like I said, I'm about halfway through, and you're getting introduced to more characters. So the first one, it's a lot of like you're going by yourself, talking. Hattie, no more, please stop. You're just dealing with the whole thing with yourself. But in this one, I've run into 2 different characters that are kind of going with you through the world, and it's interesting because there are points where I'm like, they feel so off and separate, and the voices in their head, like right after I thought this, they go, why isn't he afraid? Why is he not doing this? Like that. They were like kind of on the same page with me, and so it's just a very cool experience. I had this one moment last night where it was the end of the chapter that I finished, and you go down to this pit where you're trying to help someone, and my dog is barking at me. Stop it! You go down to this pit, and how they blend. Because the combat's very simple. I mean, it's the square light hit, triangle heavy hit, X dodge, and then you get like a focus ability. And but how they meshed the kind of cinematic fight with the normal fight was just kind of blowing my mind as I was doing it. So I can't go in, and then the cinematic's playing, and she's like trying to help this person or whatever, and he's like, behind you, they're coming, whatever. The voice are yelling at you, so you start fighting, then it goes into the gameplay, and it fights, and then you do, and what's super. I don't even know the word to describe this, but it's something I haven't seen before. Was the kind of the reaction on the flesh of enemies that you fight. Will you stop? No more. So every sword cut I take, like it leaves a gash in their arm. Which is visually just it's like you see the impact you're having on the person. I mean, it's not like they're like limping or anything like that, but like the more you attack, the more they're like through their armor gets cut and they're bleeding out of it. You're like, just to have that visual kind of reciprocation of what you're doing to them is crazy. But anyway, so yeah, this whole fight scene just kind of took me back of how impressive they're blending this kind of cinematic experience with a gameplay experience, and that's kind of what this really is. This could easily be a CG movie or something like that, or even live action movie, honestly, and it would be just as impressive. But I feel like putting yourself in those shoes and having, especially the audio experience, really just takes it to a whole nother level. And I'm very, 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 very happy that it is exceeding my expectations for it, because I was kind of going to it, oh, it'd be the same as the other one, and it is, but it's adding new elements, and I'm diving back into that kind of experience. Like I said, it's just unique. That's all I can put it. It's a very unique experience. So very much enjoying it. Excited to finish it. I'll talk about the rest of it next time probably, because I only have probably 3 hours left, but very good so far.
All right, let's go to Jared, because I know Jared's played a game I played, so let's see if he talks about it. Go ahead, Jared.
What are you gonna do, Jared?
I thought you guys weren't allowed to.
True.
Right now, the main game I'm playing is Jedi Survivor, which you guys have talked about in length in our end of the year podcast, but I am enjoying it. It's definitely a difficulty spike since the last one. This Grandmaster one is pissing me off. I do have some issues with it. Mainly, it's just like prioritizing who you're attacking. I feel like Cal doesn't know or care anything about that, and he will let you die for it. Also, when you have like I don't have issues when I'm with Marin, but with that Bode guy, he shoots the guy I'm attacking. I'm like, dude, shoot the guy that is over there shooting at us. Get the guy that I can't get to right now. And he's like, nah, I'll help you with this guy. And I'm like, dude, I don't need you. Just go away.
He takes kills, Jared. He takes your kills.
He's terrible. I do like the stances. I don't like the one with the gun. I think it's terrible. I can't get it right. I like the addition of the crossguard. That one's really good. Makes it feel like Dark Souls. It makes Jedi Dark Souls. As far as the story so far, nothing crazy. But it's so far all right. I don't like how I've already fought what the supposed bad guy is twice. It's feeling like Skyward Sword, where you have to fight the main boss like 10 times. I don't really like that. I wish they kind of held off a little more. But so far, so good. I do like the whole like the bar, like the cantina, and then you can like grow stuff on the roof, and you're like, oh, that's kind of fun. And then there's just like little things you can do throughout the world, which is fun. But not too far into it. I haven't had like a weekend just dedicated to it. So I hope it's not bad right now, but I kind of hope it improves going forward story wise. Gameplay is fun, but you can even ride little chocobos, which I was like, oh, that's nice.
Did you ride one of those doofy dudes with those super long legs yet?
Oh yeah, the camels or whatever they're called.
Yeah, that's
camels.
That looks like it's like in pre-alpha animation.
I like them.
The additions. I don't remember if they're in the first one, but the challenge echoes. And Grandmaster, my God, dude, I've beaten a couple, but there are some where I'm screaming at the TV. I'm screaming at Kel why you're such a worthless man. But I like the challenge. I hope I get a weekend where I just am dedicated to it and spend a lot more time in it.
Do you remember the last boss you fought?
I'm fighting the main dude again right now. The second time.
The Jedi, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Oh, you're about
armless.
Harmless.
And you're like on the Sky Tower thing? Is that where you're at?
Yeah, like the droid ship or whatever the bandits use.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, there's so many things because Alex hasn't finished it. And I'm like, I want to ask you about certain points. Because there's one point, it's not story at all. It's just an actual gameplay part that I think it blew most of our minds. Like I was like, this is crazy.
Over on Jeddah.
Yeah, I think
Jared's did that. Yeah.
You've done this?
Yeah. When Marin's doing
it's a boss fight.
Oh, okay.
With the drill.
That was cool.
Dude,
that was a cool whole set piece.
How it flowed, I was mind blown. I was like, this is insanely awesome.
It felt like it was so effortlessly like
I know it's like you were doing it, but it was also scripted, but you were also felt so in control. I was like, how did you balance this? Oh, I love that, man.
One other negative.
Trust me. Yes.
One other negative is not really a negative. It's more of like a nitpick kind of thing. Is I've unlocked an ability to raise and lower things. I'm like, that should just be pull and push. True. Honestly, that's why. And then
Link had that from the get-go in Breath of the Wild, man.
I think. And then, go ahead.
Oh no, go on.
No, because I'm gonna go switch to the next game.
What's really funny is like how different every single one of us who has played this game has played this game. Like you said, how you didn't like the blaster. Me and Joseph love the blaster. You know,
I hated it.
I don't like it because I feel like I could cheese it because it's the only long range kind of thing, and I don't feel good when I do that. So I'm like, I don't want to cheese the game.
So you're fine with throwing a lightsaber.
That's a limited range. This one was like,
dude, I've hated that since Battlefront 2 or whatever. I think that the Jedi's throwing a lightsaber is the doofiest thing in the world.
I think it's like the coolest thing.
Oh, it sucks.
I like when it's like
don't watch Rebels.
I like when it's an impalement throw, like you throw and it goes
exactly.
But when it's just like the helicopter, I'm like, all right.
Oh, that was goof. Like on the second boss or second fight with the boss, I was like, this is stupid beyond. It's just going around him.
Because he's
so goofy.
Has his little force junk going on.
I understand he doesn't have a second arm, but still.
I understand your handicap, sir, but
get on my level, sir.
Oh yeah.
I'm only a little bit after you release him. That's how a snail's pace I'm playing this game.
Jeez, get to it, son.
All right, Jared, before you go to your next one, let's actually go to Thomas first and then let him go.
Okay.
On the spot, Thomas.
All right. So I just got released from the shackles of school, so I'm actually able to play some video games, which is kind of refreshing. Been playing Helldivers 2, but kind of hit a wall. Just that it's not as fun anymore. Once I'm in the higher levels, everybody's kind of a dick. So just kind of fell off. But what I have been playing quite a bit of, I'm in like 30 hours right now. I've been playing Persona 4, and I have really been loving this. Like,
your first time
playing 4, yeah.
Oh, nice.
I have a girl that I want to date, but I need.
You already got a wife.
Which one?
I do.
The dumpy one from Bend.
Yes, of course that one.
Oh, that's creepy.
Nanako, I think is how you say her name.
No, Nanako's a child.
That's the little girl.
No,
That's
I'm
the
sorry,
little
that's not
girl.
her. That's not her.
Backtrack.
The brunette,
The band chick. The band chick.
No,
Bones.
Chie.
the detective chick. What's her name?
Oh,
Naoto.
Naoto.
now,
Sorry,
yeah.
sorry. I can't
Those
pronounce
sound
her name.
exactly the same.
I
to me.
know.
Thomas, no, Nanako.
Back up.
Sweet Nanako.
FBI's like, we got him.
So
His screen goes black now. Like,
So
Want to go to Junes,
Good
little girl?
fucking God. I think the story's a lot better than 5 right now, but I like the setting of 5 more. Okay, cool. I'm in a rural town. I'm in a rural town now. I don't really feel like I'm living the dream here.
He's back to the Wrexham people again. He just hates all these small town people.
I hate
man.
I hate townspeople. I hate townspeople. These stupid people. But no, I'm having fun. It's really interesting so far. I just did Rise's castle, or is it castle? How do you say these?
Yeah, they're castles.
Castles.
The dungeons.
What was his face? Kanji's castle was kind of fun, but
That one was hilarious.
it's a little like,
Oh yeah.
man, I'm really glad my dad didn't walk in right now when I was playing this. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun playing that one, and I'm actually getting into it now that I actually have some time. And I think it's funny that Alex, you have your emulator right there. Well, I got one too from Johnny, so and it's really loud right now. But
Dang, where's mine, Johnny? Jeez.
yeah, I thought I was.
Hey, they wrote Jared one too recently.
I was gonna do that later, but
Dang.
Man, I really thought I was special.
Happy birthday.
hate the burst the bubble.
No,
But
thank you,
yeah,
Johnny.
Persona 4, it's a lot of fun, and I'm actually kind of excited to see like who the killer is, and interesting.
Did you watch the anime with us?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Though I have been like seeing clips of it, and it's hilarious. Like,
Dude, the anime is great.
The anime is great, even if you don't play the game.
It's actually really funny, and I'm only watching the parts of the stuff that I have seen, and so, but it is like Kanji's castle is hilarious. That is really really funny.
Are you playing Golden?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
One criticism for me for this, at least right now, is the Velvet Room. I am never drawn to go back there. Like, I don't really care.
Oh, then what difficulty are you playing on?
Just regular.
Oh, okay, because
No, I'm saying like I'm not like drawn to go back there to like have the personal connections like I was in 5. I liked the Velvet Room. There was like a dungeon. I feel like I'm in a limousine and I'm going to be like on a casting couch. I'm like, I don't like this. I don't want to be here. So
holy smokes.
That's like the least perverted thing in this.
Thomas, they're children again. They're children.
He was talking about Nanako.
But no, I just like I barely talk to Igor, and I'm just like, hey man, can I just talk? No, I have to go away. And he like leaves. I'm like, okay, cool. Appreciate you wasting my day. Oh well, cool.
So you've never fused personas? Like
No,
much?
I
Okay.
do. It's just
Okay.
I'm never drawn there to go like talk to I forgot her name.
Margaret.
Yeah, Margaret and the new girl that they added for Golden.
Oh yeah, I forgot they had a.
Yeah,
As
she's not-
Mary.
she's
Marie.
not- Marie, I think. Yeah.
Mhm.
She's not very like I don't really care.
That was
about her.
everyone's criticism because she's
Yeah,
not
but-
really much of a character.
She's not
She
really
has a
much
lot
an
of-
add-on.
She has a lot of development if you progress her story.
Yeah.
Mm.
I'm trying
I-
to. It's just I can never find her. I'm just like, okay, she's not here. Where the hell is she?
I always go for the mom at the daycare.
I have developed a relationship with the mom. Yes.
Yeah.
So, well, I'm sorry, but the daycare paid the most for jobs. So.
She's like, do you like children? I'm like, no. She's like, me neither. I'm like, oh god. All right. Oh,
They're censoring
Turn them off.
Dragon.
Oh.
No, Alice is after him.
But yeah, I'm really liking it so far. So, and by the way, Alex, my Pokemon favorite right now is Combuskin. So, yeah, there you go.
Buskin.
Well, that sounds gross.
Okay,
Be quiet, censored man. You're not allowed here.
we gotta move again. So I'll go to me real fast. I played the Xbox Savior game. That's Little Kitty Big City. It's a fun game. You're a cat, you get hats, and you try to get home. It has a lot of bugs. When I played it, I don't know if they patched it or anything, but when I played it, there was a lot of bugs. The cat, if he jumps in boxes, it gets like paralyzed and can't move its legs and stuff like that for some reason. What was else? I got trapped in this vent and I couldn't get out. I had to start the game over. I was super depressed because I was really enjoying the game up to that point, but I had to start it over. And then I couldn't get like 100%. Because the stupid dog's tennis ball got stuck behind like a couch and I couldn't get it out of there. So I was like, but other than that, the game is fun. It's real short. It take you a day to play at most, unless you're trying to get like all the hats and everything. So it's a fun game. So that was my first game. Let's go. Alex, you got any other ones?
No.
Johnny, you got any other ones?
I started Ghost of Tsushima.
Ooh.
Yeah. All of y'all's heads turn.
So good.
That's one game that me, Alex, and Michael have all platinumed, I think.
Sure.
Actually.
Nice. Yeah.
Excellent.
My
Which is
boss
rare
told
for
me
me
to play it, so I was like, okay,
Wow.
listen, game suggestion.
It's a great game, but I would love
I don't think y'all
them to
ever told
return
me.
to Infamous. But
Yeah. I am gonna return to Infamous. And
No.
I'm honest. Oh,
sorry, I was saying that's a great game, but I'd love if the Sucker Punch would
developers.
return to Infamous.
oh,
The
okay.
developer. Yeah.
I'm like, I am eventually.
I love it, but you should play Infamous again, Johnny, and again, and again.
Like me. Like me.
But
All
yeah,
right.
yeah, Ghost of
go.
Tsushima is really good. So
Cool. Okay, Michael, any other games?
No, I'm still knee deep in Dragon's Dogma 2. Eventually, I'll finish it, but there's
Jesus.
well, I haven't
For
played
the
it.
end of the year game.
Yeah, that'll be where that one comes up because it's deep.
All right, Jared, any other ones?
Since I got that emulator from Johnny, I played which I never played before is Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
Nice.
I'm enjoying it a lot. I like in the beginning that you get all the powers and you see like where you get to, and then death comes like, and then he's like, "Hey, you can't have those anymore." And I'm like, "Darn you!" But I am enjoying it, finding all different kinds of items and like equipables and weapons and stuff like that. So it's really fun.
Yeah, it's on my list for sure. I'm embarrassed I haven't played it.
have you gotten any familiars yet?
No,
Okay.
I'm not far in it. I play it at night, like when I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
All right, Thomas, you got any other ones?
I beat that little chibi Halo thing on my emulator, so that was fun. Oh, and the reason why I played Pokemon, by the way, was I got stuck at Discount Tire for like 3 hours. And Johnny, I got so many compliments from this little emulator because people actually thought I was playing an original Game Boy. And like, is it a Game Boy? I'm like, no, go away. I was actually a little grumpy. But
Surprisingly, I don't have an emulator next to me.
Oh,
Didn't mean anything.
he's not done building Michael's yet, so
That is surprising considering you seem to be handing them out left and right.
whoa!
Hurt feelings today.
I know. I was like, I'm gonna
Holy
give it
kidding.
to Alex for his birthday. And then
Little did
everybody
you
was
know
like, "Hey,
this is gonna be."
He's the-
well, like I guess that's like my hobby is like customizing. Oh, wait, okay. Alex only has the only customized one I've ever made. So.
Hey, we're back,
There
baby.
you go.
We're back, baby.
I can sign it for him.
So Jared, what's your favorite thing about your emulator?
Mine is like the Johnny branded one 'cause
I'm
it's orange,
leaving.
like his phone.
I love the paddles.
This
So.
is my phone.
It's my- All right. So to close it out, we'll go back to me real fast. I had a lot of trouble, man. I finished Like a Dragon, and I was just doing like challenges, and I'm like, man, I gotta start a new game. So I went and I did the kitty one. That was great, but it lasted a day. So I'm like, okay, I'll download this game. It's called The Rewinder. It's an 8-bit game. It's kind of like based on Chinese lore. It's cool. I got to a puzzle I couldn't beat, and I had to uninstall it and go to the next game. because you're trying to unlock a door. You have to do it by music, so you got to play the right tone. But the preview tones they give you doesn't sound like the real tone they're giving you, and then you have to do it backwards because it's the rewinder, so you have to do everything backwards. So I was like, I don't know what I can't figure out this puzzle. So I would have liked to go farther, and I probably would have just looked up how to do that puzzle, but I decided not to. So I'm like, okay, I like an RPG. I love JRPGs. So this game was Ayuden Chronicles. It's
what?
Ayuden Chronicles or something like that. It's 100 heroes. So
I downloaded that. I haven't played it yet.
So this game, the main thing is you're recruiting people for an army, so you get over like 100 playable characters. So I was going through that, and then I get to this one part where Alex was talking about random encounters, right? So I'm at this one part, and you're trying to figure out a puzzle, but during the puzzle figuring out, tons of random encounters happen like every second. So I'm like, there's no freaking way I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna die because I keep getting in these stupid random encounters, and I'm trying to figure out this puzzle. So uninstalled that. And then I went to. So I remember the recording day was getting close. So I remember Jared's like, "Hey, I played Halibut." And I'm like, and he was like, you could beat this in a day. I'm all right, Jared. I'm gonna download it. I'm gonna beat it in a day. That was yesterday. I started like at 10 in the morning. I went to like 12:45 at night, and I'm like, I'm still not done with this game. I mean, I did take breaks for lunch and stuff like that, but
well, there you go.
I put it on this morning. I beat it like in 15 minutes. So it does kind of take like a day. But this game, the presentation is great. So it reminds you of it's like claymation, right? So it's like stop motion, and it's like a 70s kind of British sci-fi show is how I would put it, with a little bit of Wes Anderson presentation. Because Jared, you remember that part where the kids are doing that heist?
Yeah.
That's like right out of a Wes Anderson movie, because they're doing the heist and there's like German music playing in the background. So that was
a lot of German music in this.
Well, it's a German game.
What?
Yeah.
Harold Halibut.
Okay, never mind. I thought we were going to the other one. My bad.
So yeah, this was made by a German company, but it's a lot of British like voice actors and stuff like that. It's not much of a game. It's one of those games where they say, like, go over there, push the button. So you go over there and you push the button. So it's more of...
It's all games.
Huh?
That's all games.
Yeah, so it's more of just a story, interactive story. I think the one thing I did was I delivered all the mail, and that was kind of the game that it gave me. But the story was really good. I liked it. I don't know if I agree with the ending.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if we should spoil it, but the ending just seemed kind of like the main character kind of just gave up on life or something like that. So that was...
It's a little out of character, I feel like.
Yeah, because this whole thing was like helping people, and then he's like, I'm going to be selfish now.
I do like the kind of towards the end when you go in that cave. That's when I was talking about how this was a better like space sci-fi than what's that Bethesda one? Starfield. It gets trippy. It's a lot like...
Yeah, it does get trippy. That was cool.
Yeah, and it was very sci-fi. It's very like, what the heck's going on kind of feel to it.
Yeah, it's kind of got kind of a Douglas Adams feel to it, because they're all like, the bureaucracy's crazy and stuff like that. So the story's really good. Played 2 really good sci-fi games this year, but they're all like story based. There's no like gameplay to them, so hopefully they can blend that in sometime. But the presentation in this one was just outstanding. And then so I got done with that, and then downloaded Humanity, which is basically Lemmings crossed with Cube from, remember that PlayStation game Cube? So it's basically, I had a lot of fun with that already. I've only played like an hour of it, but that was a lot of fun. So that is what I'm doing. So any last words? Anyone remember something?
Play Mad Max, Joseph.
I did play Mad.
I did download that, Michael.
I love that
I
game.
can't play it
I'm the
now.
only one that's played it. Somebody else needs to play this game.
When did that come out on?
That was everything.
PlayStation 4.
4 and
Xbox One.
Probably like 2014-ish.
I think so.
I think it was
14,
2016. Let me see.
Well, because the movie Fury Road came out 2014, I think.
Yeah.
So it kind of ties into that.
2015?
Makes
Oh, nice.
sense.
Such a good game.
Favorite Pokemon, Jared?
Favorite Pokemon, like the actual Pokemon or the game?
No, the Pokemon.
Oh, true.
Probably Dragonite.
All right.
Really?
Go get a Dragonite, Alex.
Get a tattoo of it, Jared. Prove it.
How do you know we didn't have one
Pay
yet?
for it, and I will.
Okay.
All right.
Is it going to be the one with the backpack?
The little messenger bag?
satchel?
It's adorable.
This one. I have a little pin of him. Hope you can see.
Oh my gosh.
Cute. That does remind me of one more thought I had. Pokemon. Oh, of course.
You want
Nintendo's like copyrighted material.
all after Johnny.
That does remind me of one last thought I had of Pokemon that I forgot to say earlier. Is it while it is easy, I am not bored like I was with Ni no Kuni. Like Ni no Kuni 1 is such an awesome story so far that I played like half of it probably. Such a cool world, and it was just like I got so bored with the combat. And I don't know why this is any different because this is pretty easy.
It's going to get harder, I
You
think.
need to try it too, Alex. I think you'd like it more.
Yeah,
Because
I
I had the same complaint about the first one. I didn't like the combat.
yeah.
I'm so lost on the Ni no Kuni at the moment.
Once
Yeah,
you get to the Elite Four, I think it'll get challenging for you.
Are you talking about Ni no Kuni or Pokemon?
Pokemon.
Okay,
Pokemon, no, this next gym is probably one of the hardest. Isn't this
Is it the
gym?
Psychic?
No, with the
It's a hard gym, Jared.
with the milk tank.
Oh,
The rollout. Yeah.
To be fair, I did get defeated in the second gym. So
Dang, you suck.
that's when I started to realize that certain types are better against the other ones. And I was like, oh, I'm just using the wrong people.
you're like, Rock does beat Scissors. Got this. All right, so I think that's going to put a bow on this episode. Let us know what you guys think, game suggestions for us, and all that kind of cool stuff. Subscribe to the podcast, throw us some likes, and notify yourself for even more good stuff to come. And we will see you next time. Bye.
Stop censoring Johnny.
Bye, Johnny.
Recording